My wonderful, beautiful, amazing Leos. I'm Gabriella from Gabriella's Vampire Tarot. For this week, even though we're pretty much now about 3 days away, because this video will probably take place on November 27th. So, it's like I'm already, way past, midnight. So it's pretty much now, the morning of the 28th for me. But anyway, in a few days, we're going to be having that beautiful All Hallows Eve, so please feel free to stay tuned and stick around for this Friday and stuff. So, but anyway, for today, we're going to be doing the Vlad Dracula Tarot because I did promise, the week of All Hallows Eve that we're going to be doing this beautiful reading. So it's practically just laid out as you can see in the icon or picture, whatever it's called, or thumbnail. In the 11 card spread of the Vlad Dracula Tarot Cross, I'm not going to be talking about the historical parts of each card, but I will talk about like the titles of each card and stuff like that, especially the card number. So for number 1, you get the Hanged Man, Pisces energy. So card 1, the significator forms the base of the cross. Everything in this reading will be built upon this foundation. So what do we know about Hanged Man? It's like having this self-reflection, introspection, and having this overview. It's like you're pretty much just kind of, you have your outline, you have your concept, you have your blueprint, and now you're just having a general, just a view of everything to make sure that all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed. I mean, I practically did that, last week, because, the human and I, or the pianist and I, were pretty much just going to be coasting off towards Friday. So, we pretty much are just thinking, okay, we're done with all the preparations for now. So now we're just going to kind of just, let everything just kind of smooth over. So, but anyway, it's like you could also have Pisces placements and stuff like that. But this is definitely having this sense of overview and that everything is going to be working out in your favor and stuff like that. So, let's see what card number 2 has. Page of Wands, also known as the Page of Stakes. Card 2, crossing the significator. This card represents the challenges that will have to be overcome in order to achieve the desired outcome. So why would a Page of Wands be a challenge? Well, the thing is maybe you're kind of reflecting on this upcoming journey of yours and the challenges that you're going to have to go about it. I know, easier said than done, isn't it? But anyway, the thing is I feel like that the cards more or less kind of actually, make sense in the point that, the challenge is definitely taking that one step. Because a lot of people, they pretty much, like even a week before, the whole event or any kind of like idea or something or goal or upcoming like performance or any kind of like practice or rehearsal, is that they pretty much just think, yeah, well, we have a week, left, so we're just going to kind of take it easy right now. And then the night before, you're just pretty much just thinking, yeah, we're going to have to do this, aren't we? We can't just suddenly call in sick, can we? No. So that could definitely be some kind of challenges that you're going to have to go about it. I know it's like I just, wish that, a lot of people, got probably, other, nicer cards and stuff like that. But this is definitely a fire card. I mean, yeah, fire card, you could have some Aries or maybe some Sagittarius or more Leo placements in your star chart. But this is definitely, that you're going to have to make yourself do it. So, anyway, then we get to card number 3. Judgment, clarity, Scorpio energy, and we're in Scorpio season. Aha. So card 3 above the significator just shows the skill or ability you'll need to have in order to achieve the desired outcome. So the skill you'll need to have is to actually think realistically and think, just to make sure that your head is out of the clouds, just to make sure that, this voyage you're heading down is a very realistic and promising. But the thing is it's pretty much also about embracing this big announcement of some kind, but it's definitely, gaining a sense of clarity. So I feel like that the challenge is that you pretty much have to go about this journey, and the skill that you'll need to have is to actually have good insight on how it's going to go about. Because if you don't have a sense of clarity, it's just probably not going to be benefiting you, and then you're pretty much just going to be thinking, we're going to be suffering an 8 of Swords moment if we keep this up, right? But I don't really per se, we'll see that in any way. So I feel like, be rest assured, I don't really see anything, negative happening to any of my beautiful felines out in this world. But this is pretty much just having this general thought of being the general card, thinking, okay, we need to, proceed with this voyage, and we're going to have to really, have a good sense of clarity, good vision on which directions we're going to be heading off towards. So, then we get to card number 4. Ooh, 6 of Stakes. Card 4. This is the first bar of the cross, forming the basis of future and past events. The specific card represents present circumstances. Okay, well, there's definitely probably something worth celebrating, and maybe, it's like, what I'm kind of getting here is maybe, it's like you pass some kind of like job interview. I mean, that's kind of, one aspect that I'm getting, but this is something, you're definitely celebrating and stuff like that. But I just wonder, why would the challenge be if you are celebrating something that you'll actually have to get out into heading out and stuff like that? I mean, what is kind of causing you to hold back a bit? But I feel like that, judgment is mostly also kind of, enhancing this sense of the celebratory occasion of thinking, you know what, actually we've got nothing to worry about. So I feel like, do whatever you take. Maybe you have friends or siblings who are Scorpios or what have you in other ways. Maybe you're going to be celebrating, pre All Hallows Eve, or maybe you're doing a lot of preparation work for it. But other than that, I just see, that this looks like a very beautiful, it's practically, to me, it's more like a silver linings kind of, beautiful reading. Because when we get to number 5, the outcome, or at least for number 5, you get 9 of stakes. Card 5 above 4, this is the second bar of the cross. It shows the highest possible outcome, and it's an indication of what will be. So you're going to be celebrating something, but what all you could be resulting in is feeling exhausted beyond belief, but you're not giving up. What I'm kind of getting here with the sense of clarity is you know exactly where you're heading off towards, and maybe that's what's kind of giving you that celebratory feeling of thinking, okay, we now have a good sense of clarity. We know exactly how it's going to go about. Everything is practically just laid out for us. But yet you do feel exhausted because maybe, it's like you're not taking enough breaks. Maybe you're having, some sleepless nights in other ways. But this is pretty much also talking about how, it's like if you want to keep celebrating, you just can't give up either. So... and that's kind of what 5 is all about, is that you're feeling exhausted, but be like the lions or lionesses in the safari or wherever, they are located and stuff like that. And, and especially since you are, one of the fixed signs next to Scorpio, of course, but, is to, just to keep going and just, keep your eyes on the prize in other ways, But anyway, now we get to cards 6 and 7. So 6 is about the immediate future. Ooh, you get the Emperor. Aries energy, okay, and then the immediate past, you got Justice. Ooh, opposite signs. I wonder if you even have any of those in your star chart. So the Emperor with Justice, from the past to the future, is that you kept yourself as balanced as possible. Because pretty soon you're going to be either in a sense of routine or structured, routine or mindset or job or career, or quest or voyage or goal, but this is also being in an authoritative position as well. So I feel like that, maybe you are actually being presented with a real good top tier job position, and then, you are celebrating something, but yet suddenly, you do get hit with fatigue of thinking, well, oh goodness, we feel tired right now, but we just can't give up, and nor should you. And I just feel like, I personally think that it's always good just to kind of rest up. You see a lot of these, lions and lionesses during the day because they are nocturnal animals. Like, I'm a nocturnal creature of the night. But the thing is it's very good to always just kind of rest up as much as possible. Because if you overwork yourself, you're pretty much just going to collapse eventually. And then, it could probably lead to more problems in the end. But here is the immediate future, because you kept yourself as balanced and grounded as possible, because maybe you did watch one of my, videos, especially about new moon, or even that relaxing, video that I made, when I was, just listening to the fireplace and stuff like that. And the thing is it's always good to keep yourself as balanced as possible. And under any circumstance, whether it's even on a celebratory occasion or even during a crisis or stressful situation, is don't only think, oh goodness, it's like we still have all this. I mean, of course, hypocritical Gabriella talking here, but the thing is my human familiar even tells me, just to also say, okay, it's like you're nervous about this upcoming performance, but also, we'll listen to your own advice and also tell yourself to keep yourself as grounded as possible. So then we get to cards 8 and 9. So 8 is about the distant future. Ooh, Magician. Gemini, Virgo energy. And then in the distant past, you got King of Swords. So what I see you doing is, you're going to be manifesting something in the future because you had an excellent strategic, logical plan with the King of Swords. But you could have, Aries, you could have a Gemini Virgo placements, or you could also have Aquarius, Libra, Gemini as well. In your star chart, I should probably be feeding soon. But what I'm mostly seeing here is, it's like you're definitely going to be manifesting something. You're going to be in a real authoritative, strong position because there's something that is definitely worth celebrating, at least in your favor. Because, yeah, if you are the one that actually overcame this challenge of getting out into this world, that's kind of, mostly the name of the game. I think I mentioned either this to Gemini, I know, or Cancer in other ways, is, it's like, the gift of this life that we are being presented with is remarkable in so many ways because, we're kind of, like just going about our lives, gaining new insights, experiencing, tasting new flavors, experiencing different things and stuff like that. And from all that experience and knowledge and stuff like that, because the fact is that you took charge and you headed out into this world, you're definitely going to be manifesting something because, you were already creating this excellent plan. Wow. And especially, when you're keeping yourself with justice, even in the immediate past, is that, if you're in a calm mindset, then you can actually think clearly, instead of if you're in a crisis mindset and you're pretty much just spinning around in circles in your mind, thinking, oh goodness, how am I going to get out of this situation? Then you end up making mistakes. But if you kept yourself as balanced as possible, and then you were able to actually think clearly about a really good plan, because now we get to the all outcomes of all outcomes. So you start off with 10 of Swords. Ooh, painful ending, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. And then the Hierophant, okay, the third, or another fixed sign of Taurus. You know what I'm getting here? Is you're definitely going to be faced with some kind of painful ending. But I'm not getting anything that you're going to be going from this real strong, confident, hardworking position or something that's manifesting that's going to be all for naught. I see that you're pretty much just kind of heading off towards this ending of some kind, but it's going to be giving you this bittersweet feeling. And you get the Hierophant of feeling incredibly committed. Maybe you might eventually get some kind of job or career or something that's going to be presented to you because you're going to be incredibly committed. Because I'll tell you something, some humans, when they achieve any kind of goal, a lot of humans, they have 3 of Cups and 6 of Wands galore. Some people, when they approach their final goal, when they pretty much achieve, after hard work of struggling with the 9 of Wands and stuff like that, and well, they end up, just breaking down in tears and feeling depressed and happy and anxious and frustrated. It's not because they actually did something good, but that's sometimes, the effects it can sometimes have on certain people. And why? Because the thing is you pretty much just went out on this journey. You put a lot of time and effort and energy into this quest and voyage. And then suddenly, you've reached that destination of whatever it may be. Maybe it was that job that you were waiting for so many years. Maybe it was something that you were just working towards constantly, day and night, just to achieve that desired goal. And then suddenly, the painful ending is that your voyage is ending and it's pretty much giving you this unsettling feeling. But be rest assured is you're going to be incredibly committed to it. And that's the thing. This is kind of out with the old and in with the new. But even though this could take place as the outcomes of all outcomes, the fact is that the 5th card was definitely the 9 of Wands, feeling exhausted beyond belief, but you just didn't give up. And that's what kind of gave you that kind of, sort of, it's like this, melancholy kind of feeling because, you finally did it. And then something is definitely going to be working out for you, and you're going to be incredibly committed to it. Wow. Yeah, I know it's not really the outcome, but it's still kind of a silver lining outcome in the sense that I really hope that, this painful ending is just only, your own hard work, that came to an end and stuff like that, but now you're pretty much now pursuing on the next chapter, or even what I even mentioned to even Cancer or even Gemini for that matter, is there's this ancient tactic, it's called the ladder tactic. And you first, climb the first ladder of any kind of voyage request. And then you reach, the first level. And then in front of you, it's the same ladder or, the same, direction. But if you look next to you, there's a different ladder heading up to, another level and stuff like that. So then when you're in a position of thinking, well, maybe I want to switch careers, maybe I'm going to be changing directions and stuff like that. But I'm not per se getting that unless that were to resonate with you. But other than that, I do see that something is definitely, incredibly, worth celebrating. This very beautiful, grand announcement that's going to be taking place, and especially that you feel incredibly committed afterwards. Anyway, I'm going to have to leave it at this for now, but if this reading resonated for Leo placement, please feel free to join and subscribe. But I want to thank all of my beautiful followers, fledglings, to all humans out in this world, for supporting and subscribing to my channel. I love you guys incredibly. Please feel free to stay tuned for this upcoming Friday performance. But other than that, I want to wish you all the best of luck. You guys are wonderful, amazing humans. I think, this is a wonderful, beautiful plan that you've actually created. It looks incredibly promising on so many levels, so rest assured about that. But other than that, take excellent good care of yourself and have a wonderful, beautiful evening.